brothers. We're happy singing and we're colored. We're happy singing and we're brothers. We're happy singing and we're colored. We're happy singing and we're brothers.
Hey yo, what's going on? It's your boy Flaw 700, aka Flaw Claude Van Damme, aka Flaw Seagal, aka your boy Dumb Some Goy. Don't ask me to sing the song. And we are Kelly Drake's favorite podcast, the Podcast Brothers. Please excuse the absence of my brother Fresco. The boy got hurt, chipped up, laid up with a splint on his foot. Don't ask me how he did it. Don't ask no questions. Ask me, well, you know what? Maybe with the news of the NBA free agency, he saw that the Lakers needed an extra player, thought he could hop on the court and fucked himself up. That might be what he did. But he won't be joining us right now. This is episode 144, I think. 144. We're about 6 episodes away from the free sneaker giveaway. So do your boy a favor. Go to thebrotherspod.com. Subscribe to the website. And you will be entered in the chance to win a pair of free sneakers. Last week, the OG sneakerhead copped some Yeezys. Might be some Yeezys you get. The week before, he copped some Jordans. Might be some Jordans you get. Don't know. It could be anything. But just know we ain't half-stepping when it comes to the brand. He only rock with the official. So you never know what you're going to get. But joining me today, man, I always got somebody in the building. Always got somebody here with me, you know what I mean, when Fresco and I around. I have the owner of the Lofty 7 clothing line, Felix, in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you having me on.
Did I get that right? Do you consider it a clothing line?
It's a brand.
It's a brand.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a brand that's based on my upbringing.
Okay.
Lucky 7. I'm the 7th of my family. I'm the youngest. I'm the last.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm kind of the last chance to put the family on.
Oh,
and
man.
keep it moving from there.
That pressure.
Yeah.
That pressure.
Absolutely.
I'm sitting. Yo, we ain't even get into the episode yet, and you just fucked my head up right now, man. Because I sit here like I'm the oldest of my siblings. My mother's oldest. My father's oldest. And I got kids. I got 4 kids. And I'm sitting here like, man, I got to do something for us, for everybody.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
like I'm the guy that needs to put the family on my back, and make something happen. But you flipped it. Well, I'm the youngest, so I'm the last.
Correct. Yeah. No, absolutely, man.
So we on the same path.
Yeah.
The youngest and the oldest both got that same mentality. It is what. So how are your other siblings? Do they have hustler mentalities? They do.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's in the streets or organizationally,
okay.
I think we all kind of had some kind of hustler's mentality.
Okay.
Always wanted to provide the best for our families has always been it.
Okay.
I think we do a good job at doing our siblings justice and representing them.
Okay. Now, before we get into this episode, just tell the people who you are in a better version than I can say, where you from and things of that nature.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Felix. I'm the owner and creator of Lucky 7 Loft. It's a clothing brand that I started a couple years back. I'm a full-time father, full-time husband.
Yeah.
The youngest of my family, just trying to continue hustling and motivating. Born in Trenton, New Jersey, raised in Chicago, Illinois. Came back in my adulthood to finish growing as an adult in Trenton.
Okay.
But I'm here now, just trying to grind it out, trying to make something for myself. I got my family, my city on the back, and just really trying to put on.
Well, we definitely like you talking my language right now. That's the type of talk I like to hear, man. Now, with that being said, like for me, I recently got into something new.
Okay,
real estate.
Nice,
real estate, and the opportunity that it can give me for my future, for my family. I committed to being like a real estate investor. A lot of people don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And the way that it was presented to me is like, you know what I mean? Like 90% of millionaires have some type of real estate. But that's stuff that we don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely in their portfolio.
Right. Yeah. Something's in there. Like, not saying you got rich from real estate, but when you did get some money, you purchased some real estate.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Or you started from really, you know what I mean? So for that alone got me like, man, here I am, a father of 4, and if I die today, what they got? Nothing.
Correct. Absolutely.
So I'm in my hustler mind frame, in my hustler state of mind right now, right? Have you ever felt like you've hustled? Do you ever feel like you need a break from hustling? I'll give you an example. Spider-Man came out Friday.
Yeah.
I want to go see Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But then I sit here and say, nah, I could be hustling. I could be out there in them, hitting them streets, looking at houses. I could be, you know what I mean? Like Netflix just dropped Stranger Things. Do I watch that or do I open my book and gain some knowledge?
Yeah.
Have you come across that to where I'm doing too much? Let me relax.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest struggle for those that want to do something for themselves or for other people that they have a responsibility or obligation to help grow, right? For myself, in the beginning, it was tough because I was trying to figure out how to manage everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a full-time worker, you know what I'm saying, standard 9 to 5 in retail.
Yeah.
I need to be 110% husband, 150% father, and then I need time for myself, you know what I'm saying? So I think the toughest part for me going through this process was trying to figure out how to balance. You know, the one error that I encountered early on in my days was trying to fit more work in my same kind of hours of the day.
Yeah.
You know, I was accustomed to kind of resetting the clock at 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I felt like that was the end of my day.
Yeah.
And as I got more through the process, I understood that, well, I can do everything that I'm accustomed to doing until 10, and then I can just grind it out after that.
Yeah.
So most of my nights are 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning to then wake up at 6 o'clock, you know what I'm saying, get the kids ready, take them to school, and then go to work and continue doing what I'm doing. So I find myself, you know, making more use out of my 24 hours than what I was accustomed to in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to fit things in. But, you know, there's still those times where, you know, I do want to watch a show.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the show, my hustler mentality is like, man, what you doing?
What you doing?
Yeah, why are you here?
Why are you watching this TV?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So you talking that language, right? You're talking my language. I wake up every morning at 4 a.m. because I want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And if I feel like if I don't start my morning off with a workout, I'm not going to have the energy that I need to finish off the day. And I first started going to the gym in the morning because going to the gym at night took away from family.
Okay.
Like my job, I work a 10-hour shift. So not only am I going from 6:30 in the morning till 5, then when I get off, now I want to go to the gym for 90 minutes. Now what time you getting in the house? 7, 8.
Yep.
Kids done 8. It's time for bed. You're not spending no time with your family. So guess who's going to sacrifice their sleep? Me. I'm going to get up at 4. Everybody still sleep. That was the initial goal. And then I'm listening to like people like Puff Daddy and other entrepreneurs that say the early bird gets the worm. If you're up before everybody else, you know what I'm saying, you already are ahead of other people who still sleep. My workout is over. People are alarms just going off.
That is correct. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I've already done committed to my body, my mind and my body. Now the rest of my day is going to go a little bit better because I got energy, things of that nature. I got energy. I feel great. I'm going to do this 10-hour shift. And then after that, I'll figure out what I got going on. I had somebody tell me like, yo, you do everything. I didn't realize that I had my hands in so many things.
Yeah.
So like I said, I go to the gym, I go to work, I do the podcast thing. I'm trying to get into the real estate. You know what? Not trying. I am in the real estate business. Also, people want me to train them. And I'm going to make all this happen in the 24 hours that I got. I will sleep when the opportunity presents itself.
Same here.
Right.
Same here. It's about maximizing your time.
It's about maximizing my time. Like, okay, we just had holidays, right? In my job, I've had all 4 days. Thursday for the 4th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is today. And I said, man, I'm going to sleep in. I don't get to sleep in because once again, I'm up at 4 in the morning.
Take advantage.
You know what time I wake up? 5. I can't sleep in.
Yeah. Your body, your internal clocks are reset.
I can't do it. And I might roll over and be like, yo, get some more rest. But at 8, I'm up.
Yeah.
At least 8. And then it's just like, okay, it's the day after the 4th. Do you relax or do you hit the gym? No, you hit the gym. You pull your phone out. You start hustling. You start doing what you got. So all I got to do is pull my phone out and locate houses. Before we continue on though. If you are looking to sell your home, you no longer want the property, there's a death in the family, you can no longer afford the house through divorce or whatever, email me at jarrell.miner@yahoo.com. JEREL.MINER@yahoo.com. I will pay cash for your house in no less than 2 weeks. Holla at your boy.
There you go.
Cheap plug, bro.
Yeah, get him in.
So I thought that was just a dope conversation that we could have about having a hustler's ambition to feeling guilty. It's kind of like that diet. You want that cake.
Yeah.
But I just worked 6 days in the gym, and that cake just might. But then again, it might not, because everything is about, what's that word I'm looking for? Moderation.
Yeah.
Everything's in moderation. So now we know that you're the youngest of 7. But in your mind, you want to do something, but you don't know what. So where does the creativity come from, though?
Yeah.
Like, where did you be like, yo, I want to do this?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So growing up, I've always been artistic.
Okay. There it
whether
is.
that in I'd be drawing, digital. I've always been around musicians.
Okay.
So I've always had kind of resources to kind of stimulate my creative mind. And kind of figure out where I fit in within that culture.
Okay.
My father was one that taught me the whole kind of mechanics of drawing, and from there it kind of just manifested into something a little bit bigger. During high school, I had a high school teacher named Miss Hicks, who believed in me. I think she was outside of my like immediate family that believed. I think she was the first person that was outside of my circle that really believed in the talent that I had, regardless of which direction I wanted to go in. And she got me into the Art Institute of Philadelphia, helped me out with that process. And, during that time, my mom was a single mother, and I had to take the train from Trenton to Philly every day.
Yeah.
And Miss Hicks, for the first like 6 months, paid for my monthly train pass. So I would go to the high school, pick up the cash, go buy my train pass, and make it to school. Now, when I was in school, you're exposed to so many different forms of art.
Yeah.
And I found that what helped me in that process was digital. Now, leading up to high school and of course college, I was already self-taught in Photoshop. One of my friends dropped off a CD. I had an old computer in the house. I plugged it in and I just started from there.
Yeah.
And was just self-taught. I loved it. It was something I always liked to do. And then once I figured out, the direction when I was in college, and I met the people that I've met, and I understood how I can, make money off of this talent, that's where I really started to kind of move forward.
How old were you?
Well, I was 14 when I was self-taught. When I went to college at the Art Institute of Philadelphia, I was like 18 and 19.
So you was already on some money. Like, I can make money off of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the biggest thing was, my mom was a single mother at that time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just trying to figure out ways to make up what she was investing, you know what I'm saying, to kind of even out and to avoid that, eliminate that pressure of having to pay for my school and make sure everything else was running fine.
Right.
But I was still early in that process. I didn't really know how to monetize the talent as well as I do now.
Right.
So after college, I started working in a clothing company called PCX Clothing. It's underground clothing. They have about 35 stores nationwide. And I really started to see branding and marketing and merchandising. And then I got a chance to design for them as well, designing hand tags, size tags, patterns, and things like that. And that's when I really got the understanding of this whole process. And then, one day when me and my wife were thinking, like, man, what are we going to do? Like, I can't continue working.
See? Talking my language.
Yeah, I can't continue. And there's nothing wrong
13 minutes in and you just talking my language. I can't keep working like that.
There's nothing wrong with having a 9-to-5. If you feel like that's where your ambition lies. Yeah. But for myself and what I envisioned providing my family, there was no way that 9-to-5 can do that. Could do that justice. So we I was designing here and there flyers, mixtapes, albums, posters, business cards. But when you're in the client service industry, it can get a little tedious.
Okay.
And it didn't let me kind of explore my creative mind.
Yeah.
Because I was always within the limitations of the client.
Okay.
Now there's a lot of memes out there on Instagram and social media how the client and the creator go back and forth. And when you think you have a great idea, the client comes and wants to like break it all down and get something completely opposite of what you just created in this masterpiece.
Meanwhile, you just put your life, your life's work is right here.
Absolutely.
Oh, he or she's going to love this, and then present it to him like, nah.
I just put my foot into this thing, you know, and they just knock it all down.
Yo, not to cut you off, but I think I can't say for sure, but I think I had that situation before, but it was musically. Like I used to rap.
Yeah.
And my dad was the producer in a way, right? So I told him what I wanted as a beat. Simple. Just sample this beat, and it is what it is. So he did it, and I rapped off of it. I rapped over it, right? And song was dope to me. A week later, I come back, and he goes, yo, I made a beat. I remixed the beat, and he made a totally different beat.
Put your vocals on it?
Put my vocals on it and took that beat off. And he sat there, he's like, yo, I got something for you. So I'm listening to it, and I'm just like, I like the other one better.
Yeah.
I ain't really feel the energy from his production after that, I don't think. Because I didn't hear what he heard. I didn't feel what he felt.
Yeah.
He thought like, yo, I just made this hell of a beat.
Correct.
And it's the shit. No, fam. I want what I asked you for.
Correct.
So I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
What you were just describing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that just comes with client services, you know. I did it for a long time, and I made a lot of money off of it, but it just wasn't something that I wanted because, like I said, I was within the limitations of the client's creative mind. And then I was like, well, I want to do something where I can utilize my talent and live within my creative world and my realm and be able to provide a product to the world rather than me creating a product that the world wanted. So that's where I'm at right now. Everything that we do is created in-house. You know, there's nothing that we create that's given to us or created for us. It's all within our creative four walls, and we provide it to the world, and we let the world give us their feedback back and go from there.
You spoke on this earlier, but balancing just life, work, family, your career, how do you maintain that? Like, what's your go-to? Like, how did you, or what was the roadblocks? I know something had to happen to where somebody wasn't getting enough attention, whether it be the wife, whether it be the kids, or you wasn't putting enough focus into the actual brand because you had a life. So how did you balance that?
Yeah, so, I mean, the obvious obstacles, right? Like, being married, for those that don't know, it's all, butterflies and flowers, but it also comes with its challenges, right, to get it to that point.
Yeah.
And, it's not that I'm required or a husband or a wife is required to give X amount of time to their significant other.
Yeah.
But you have to find a way to carve out some time for them.
Right.
And what was happening in the beginning, and it happens occasionally now, is that I'm fully invested in a creative space where I see the vision of where I want to go, and it's so close that I kind of my judgment lapse. I have a lapse in my judgment, and I may forget to watch a movie with my wife or spend time with the kids.
Forget.
And, Keyword, forget. It's not done on purpose.
Yeah.
But it happens, and those were the obstacles I was running into early because I felt as if I needed to have everything 100% available and ready before whether it was launching or it was 1 year anniversary, or if I created a design, I needed to post it no matter the time. And I'd be like, babe, give me 10 more minutes and we'll sit down and watch a show, and 10 minutes becomes an hour. And the same thing with the kids, right? Like, you're in the middle of designing something, the kids want to show you a YouTube video.
Oh, man. It's nothing. How many kids you got?
I have 2.
Boy and a girl?
Boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl, right? It's nothing like, right, when you working on your project and your son just happens to come down, he wants to, even your daughter, but your son comes down and he just wants to start a play fight or something.
Yeah.
You're like, listen, son, not right now.
Yeah.
They don't know that it breaks your heart, but it's just like, I have to do this project. But they always want to, engage with you when you are actually doing something.
Correct.
There's times when you chilling. What's up, little man? Want to play? No.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's
I got
case.
free time. What's up?
Yeah, I'm available right now.
Right.
And he hits me with it doesn't fit in my schedule. But I think that's something that I learned as well. And this is the difference between or the bridge between creator and business owner.
Yeah.
Is being able to provide information or a statement to somebody that they may not like. Like, I can't do that, or I don't have time right now. let me finish, and I'll get that to you.
Yeah.
And then what happened is, over time, they've become acclimated to my business schedule and what I'm trying to do, and they understand the business side of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's great for my kids as well, especially yourself. You know, you have kids, and getting them to understand this early.
Yeah.
Is that it's sometimes things just don't happen on your time.
That's a fact.
You know, and you got to figure out how to maneuver within the time that you have available, and you're responsible as well to get your objectives done. And when they're done, then we can play.
Right.
You know, so I try to instill that in my children to get them to understand that this is something that I need to do.
Did we get lucky enough to have a lot of information on our side? Because we've seen, maybe it might just be on movies or TV, I don't know if this is real life, but entrepreneurs, how they just shut everybody out until they're like billionaires. You know, we've seen situations to where the wife or the girlfriend is so lonely because he's working on this big project. So do we have the advantage of seeing how wrong it can go if you don't find a balance?
So before I get to answering that, I think the cultural climate behind being an entrepreneur, I think right now is at the forefront of what we do and what we see.
Yeah.
And in some cases, and you hear it a lot from like major entrepreneurs that are really, really doing it. And not to take anything away from those that are trying to get it done, but the ones that have accomplished something, you know, they speak on individuals that believe that they're entrepreneurs, but maybe they're not, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's tough to get an understanding on what right looks like and what wrong looks like, because there's so many people in the marketplace of entrepreneurship that it's kind of hard to identify or who to look up to in regards to like, all right, this is the model I need to follow. Right. I think, and being an entrepreneur, you get to understand rights and wrongs through your process of your journey. Yeah. And so I don't think that there is a model entrepreneur that would advise us of what's right and what's wrong. Mm-hmm. I think it's just a mirror image of who we are that we're looking at over time that gets you to understand, I can't do this no more, or I got to do it this way. Okay, right. And I think that's what happened to me. You know, for myself, what was considered right and wrong only was identified when I committed the wrong. Yeah. Right. To do, and then I end up doing the right. Yeah. You know, and as I did the right and the outcome became something that was rewarding, I knew that, all right, well, the opposite is wrong, so I'm going to continue with my right. But you had to make a mistake. You had to turn left. Yes. In order to find that right direction first. So absolutely. That's definitely a dope way to look at it. But mental health, right? And sometimes you'll have people on some, well, I'll say mental health for yourself. You know, the belief in yourself and trying to get stuff done. Was there an obstacle that you, not family, not kids, not nothing, that you had to overcome to start your business? Yeah. Within yourself? Yeah, no, absolutely. So being a creative, I think the toughest thing about being a creative is that everything that you create, you deem as the best. And I think I related to having children, right? Like when you had your children and you looked at them when they first came out, you were like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Let me tell you something, not to cut you off, but let me just speak on that right now. I have 4, right? My son will be 18. My daughter is 16. And I have a 5-year-old son. And I have a 4-month-old daughter, right? Oof. Yeah, I'm all over the place, bro. Now, I love my first 3 to death. Okay. I do. But it's something about the baby when they're in the baby form. Yeah. Because it's the purest love you'll ever meet. Correct. Absolutely. Ever be introduced to. And this is what people don't understand. You don't have a favorite child. But when that baby is in that infant stage and they look at you with no teeth and they just smile. You love me. Innocence, man. Somebody really loves me. Absolutely. So, yes, you definitely get that feeling was like, yo, you are not the greatest thing ever. And it's a selfish thing because it's like for me, like absolutely. I'm going through stuff. I got stuff in my mind, but you love me. Correct. And I think you're the greatest. Unconditionally. Yeah. Nobody told you to love me. You just love me. It has happened, right? Yeah. And I think And I can kind of relate that, and I don't want to make the two seem equal in any way.
Right.
But it's very similar to the creator. The creative mind, when they create something that they've invested time into, and the product comes out, it's the greatest thing that you've ever done.
Yeah.
And there's no one that's going to tell you different.
Yeah.
And I had to overcome the hardship of creating and the world not being receptive. And you kind of ponder, like, this is the dopest thing that I've created, man. And in the world like social media, where you kind of rate your success off of likes or impressions or engagement, and you post and you don't see those things, I think at a moment you kind of second guess if this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
And early on, that was the process where I was mentally, like, man, I'm about to put something out. And then I didn't feel 100% confident that it was time to go. But leading up to my kind of launch online, I'd already announced it on social media that it was going to launch on this day.
Yeah.
So there was no going back. I couldn't go back on my word.
Right.
So at that moment, I wasn't ready to give out 100% of the product yet, but I had to. And it was probably the highest amount of anxiety, a month after that, because I'm like, well, now I have to wait for the world to respond. My friends, my family, my colleagues, individuals that were looking up to this product coming out. Now I have to wait and see if they like it or not. And I think that's the biggest mental hurdle that I had to go through my process. And I still go through it.
Yeah. Do you post your kids?
On social media, no.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask because I do, right? And there's a lot of things that I'm involved in, whether it be gym, whether it be working out, whether it be podcasts. And it could be times where what I'm doing gets no type of attention, right? The other day I posted my daughter and she got 500 likes, right? And I'm just like, all right, that's cool. It's a nice little cute baby. But I'm out here busting my ass and nobody is, you know what I mean? Like, I'll get people like, well, first off, I do have people inquiring my services of training them. But it'll be like if I run into you or if we're having a conversation, they'll be like, sidebar, yo, your videos are very inspirational, right? But if I post something, they just won't come and say, hey, it's dope, you doing your thing. Yeah. Even with the podcast, there's people who won't comment or like on social media, but when I see them in person, you got a podcast, huh? Yeah. But you've never acknowledged it.
Yeah,
that
show me some love online.
Hey, you don't want to say that? And you don't want to sound crazy like, yo, fam, I would rather... Do you know how much work goes into posting and writing and just wanting feedback?
Absolutely.
If you don't... I would rather you really not like it. But if you do and you don't want to say nothing...
That's worse.
That's worse. They don't understand that.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. And then you don't want to be that person to be like, especially me in what I do and in the brand that I'm creating, you don't want to be the one to say, well, I mean, everyone out there buying Supreme. And listen, no shade.
You don't want to be that.
You don't want to be that guy. Yeah. But it happens to me as well. It's like, I might not get no love online, but if I come across someone that I've grew up with, haven't seen in a while.
Well, you doing your thing.
Yeah, first thing is that.
But you don't.
Yeah, let's cement that statement online, Let's put it in history.
It's not that we want attention, but if you know how the social media works, if you actually comment on our post, the algorithm sets it up so that we're in rotation.
Yeah.
But if we post something and we get 10 likes, not saying we do, but if we get 10 likes, the millions of people that's on social media will get looked over.
Yeah.
And then you scroll and you just like, well, let me ask you this question too, because this happens to me, the same type of story. Do you have a background or a story? Because I've seen people, right? Let's just say somebody just came home from jail and people want to see that person do good. Social media will attack them with love.
Yeah.
But because there's no background story, because you're perfect. Yeah. You're a good guy. Yeah. Well, you married.
Yeah.
You got kids.
Yeah.
You're a good guy. Yeah. You don't need my love.
They kind of expect a win to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're not, there's nothing for them to give you because you're you. You're going to be all right.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Two things on that. One, the first thing that you brought up was the algorithm.
Yeah.
Not too many know of the algorithm. Social media is based on a mathematical equation. Yeah. Right? And that algorithm is extremely important. So I'm glad that you brought that up. It's not that we want the comment, but the comment is a variable in the algorithm, which is going to help us.
That's it.
Yeah.
You telling me in person you like my stuff, don't do me no justice.
Correct. Or let me record that statement and then I'll post it. Secondly, I think that what happens is people are judged at face value.
Yeah.
In my real life, I'm extremely reserved, but I do have a level of confidence in me. And I think that in some cases, confidence can get blurred with arrogance, where people then see, well, I like them, but there's something about them. And it could be that they can't digest the confidence, right? And they just associate, well, he's good on his own.
Yeah.
He can handle himself.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's
tough.
Extremely tough because with being confident, I think you understand that there is a level of being vulnerable, but you don't want to express that when you're running a business, right? You don't want to expose being vulnerable in any kind of shape or form, right?
Yeah.
Because that just lessens the foundation that you build on.
You want to look strong at all times.
You want to look strong at all time, but it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But what I can say to whoever's listening, I'm vulnerable. No, listen, we appreciate all support.
Yeah.
I think one of the messages that we try to get across is if you like us, support us on your schedule, on your time, on your dime.
Yeah.
If you want to buy, that's fine. If not, that's okay.
Yeah.
We appreciate the inquiry, the thought, the support without supporting.
Yeah.
We appreciate everything. I think we firmly believe that with time, our journey would find its destination.
Absolutely. If you listen, I mean, it's jokes, but it's the truth, though. If you listen to the podcast, but you don't never post, I'm fine with that. I mean, if you want to acknowledge me in person, I'm fine with that. It's just that we don't post for the shits and giggles, though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So if you see the post, it's okay to like and comment. Like we need that algorithm. But so you mentioned earlier that you born and raised in Trenton, went to Chicago for a bit and came back to the town.
Yeah.
Was Chicago as bad as they say it is then as it is now? Because I've never been. And you can have people say, it's not that bad in Chicago. I don't know. So I'm only asking you because you've been there. But was it that bad when you were there?
Well, I think that Chicago in itself is beautiful.
Okay.
The one thing I can say about Chicago is that you have individuals that will just walk up to you and introduce themselves, shake your hand, engage in a conversation, or whatever the case may be. But just like with any city and town that you're from, any community, what you go through isn't perceived the same as those looking from the outside in.
Yeah. That's exactly why. That's why I ask how I ask. Like I can't just be like, Chicago's horrible. I've never been.
Yeah. No, now what I can say is, when I was in Chicago, when I was a lot younger, it didn't seem as bad as it seems now because I'm not there. And like I said, that's the perception of looking from the outside in. From the outside in, all you see is murder, gangs, drugs. Not to say that wasn't existent when I was there. It definitely was. But
that's like people, not to cut you off, that's like people looking on the outside, not from Trenton. I can't come to Trenton, y'all.
Yeah.
It's not as
bad as you think. Yeah.
But the news will make you think, man, don't go to Trenton.
Yeah, absolutely. What I can say is that back then, in comparison to today, back then I think that there was a level of order and organization within the organizations that were in that community.
Yeah.
And I think with time, those individuals that would lead those organizations leave out.
Right.
The younger generation comes in, and it takes time to kind of understand how an organization should run.
Okay.
And I'm saying organization because I don't want to label any certain person in any way that they don't feel or deem to be correct.
Mm-hmm.
But what's going to happen is with time, Chicago will turn into a place where there is order and there is organization. But I think it's going to take time for the younger generation to develop families, develop what are beliefs in their life and where they want to grow and become older, and their kids being raised in those places where order will generate itself. I just think Chicago's in a place right now where they're trying to go full circle, where there will be order.
Okay.
And until that point happens, you will have that intermediate chaos that we see.
So I also like to hear the stories. Not saying you have any, but if you do, I I like to hear the stories of I almost gave up type of stories, or man, I had to second guess myself. Because I think what stirred me in the wrong direction was always seeing the success stories. Because when you try to do what other people did, you realize it was hard. Like, you just see, like, for one, as a musician, I always looked up to Babyface. If Babyface wrote the song, I knew it was a hit.
Yeah.
Babyface wrote it, produced it, all that. So let me go make a beat. And then you sit down in front of all this machinery, you like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So, but nobody never tells you how they learned, how many times they fell on their face before they made it. So was there a situation to where you was just like, all right, this ain't it?
Yeah. Immediately after I started, I buy my material wholesale. Right. Just like any kind of brand.
Mm-hmm.
And the day before we launched online, I did a crazy order. Like, I don't know where my mind was, but I placed it was like a $700 order on wholesale bulk on t-shirts. That's a lot of units.
Okay.
And I was like, man, leading up to, I was like, yo, I need that because this website is about to go. This is about to be on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to have orders going crazy.
Yeah.
Of course, the orders didn't come in, but neither did my order. Right? So $700 is in limbo.
Yeah.
And I'm calling this place up. No one's answering. Emailing, no one's answering. And I'm like, I just got beat on $700. Now, for those that are entrepreneurs that have families, a husband or wife and kids, $700 taken out of the equation of life it could set you back.
You got somebody to answer to.
Yeah, absolutely. So $700 is gone.
Yeah.
And I started looking up the Better Business Bureau, and this company that I've been ordering from in small dosages has had multiple complaints when the orders are of a large amount. So I'm like, man, I just got beat on my $700.
Yeah.
I was like, I have no orders. I have no shirts. There's nothing I can do. I was like, I'm about to close it up as soon as I open it up, because how am I going to supply orders?
Yeah.
And I had no one around me at that point to kind of, provide me with any kind of insight. Like, all right, just be patient. It'll all work out.
Yeah.
Of course, my wife, but I think it's almost like supposed to be that way.
You're supposed to cheer me up.
Yeah, so it's not like I'm not digesting what she's saying, but it's like, all right, you're supposed to give me that, but there was no one else outside of my immediate circle that was telling me like, yo, you good. Just chill, relax. Let's step back and figure out how do we maneuver. And I was like, man, I'm about to close up because I'm about to look like a fool if I can't fulfill these orders.
Right.
So I definitely had that.
Right? Launch.
So we launched.
You don't even have a 5-star rating on Yelp yet.
Nothing.
You got nothing.
We have nothing. We have nothing to like base ourselves on other than the first impression. And you know what they say? It's like first impression is everything,
yes.
So I'm like, man, I'm about to look like a fool if I can't fulfill these orders and I have no one to like talk to.
Right.
And level of anxiety was high. Of course, I'm still dealing with the mental kind of space where like I'm trying to see what the world is going to say about my product.
Yeah.
So I got that on top of no material, on top of losing 700, on top of I don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like I stumbled on something through a friend that now is my production company in Philly that has put me on. Like I knocked on his door. I'm like, yo, bro, you wouldn't guess what happened.
Yeah.
And I told him the story. He was like, yo, why you tripping? I was like, what do you mean why I'm tripping, bro? Like I can't, like this is me. I can't supply nothing.
700 is 700.
Yeah. One, it's money. And two, it's like someone's going to walk into the store and see no product.
Yeah.
Essentially, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I got you, bro. Like you should have told me this a while ago. Here's this website. Here's this number. Here's this location. And I looked at him and I was like, yo, that's all? And he was like, yo, bro, you should have called me a while ago. But I was so frazzled mentally.
You want to know what's crazy? As I'm venturing off into this real estate business, I'm torn between telling everybody about it as far as I need help or doing it all myself.
Yeah.
Figuring it out and then telling people, hey, this is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it could be that, not saying this is what you did, but you're like, yo, let me do this. Because I guess for me, it's like, well, I ain't got no money to pay nobody.
Correct.
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I don't want to look like a fool trying to explain to you what I know halfway.
Yeah, you're still trying to learn.
I'm still trying to learn.
Yeah.
So, but I made it known yesterday. I made a post. I said, yo, I'm a real estate investor. Not for people to be like, congratulations.
Yeah.
But somebody might be like, yo, I'm about to inbox you. We need to talk.
Correct.
I know somebody that knows somebody.
Correct.
I threw the fishing rod out there for that.
Yeah.
So for you to lose 700, which was a lot, made you go holler at your boy. You probably wouldn't have done it, right?
Yeah.
Had that shipment would not have if that shipment would have came in.
Correct.
So
I wouldn't even went to him.
Right. I always look at the blessing in disguise. Always. There's
Yeah.
a message in every loss.
Hands down.
I lost 700, but they get back. It's going to be triple that.
Correct.
And I just want to talk to the entrepreneurs out there, right? I think we've all been in a situation where somebody needs something, whether it be your wife, your husband, or your kids, or anybody. And it's the option between provide or put your last dollar into your business.
Yeah.
Because in your head, you like, listen, baby, I can't buy diapers this week. Now, they might not understand that.
Yeah.
But in your head, you like, listen, I'm about to blow up.
Yeah.
Maybe in a year or two, y'all will not need for nothing.
Correct.
But I'm going to look like a fool right now.
Yeah.
And not be able to provide those diapers, even though those diapers cost $16. I need to put the $16 into my business.
Yeah. Hands down.
So I definitely just want to talk to the creators, the entrepreneurs out there that I think we've all ran through a situation like that.
Yeah.
Where I've had to put my last into my business and had to figure out how we're going to eat later.
Correct.
I'll figure that out later.
Correct.
We'll figure. I don't know how. You can call me a loser because it's that threat of not looking like you can't provide.
Yeah.
So we're going to eat that.
That's the pride and ego of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's something I learned as well. And whoever's listening that's looking on doing that same thing, sometimes you got to put that to the side.
Yeah.
Because that's what stumps the growth. That keeps you in one spot and a level of complacency. We never want to be able to sacrifice the income that's coming in, right? And potentially lose everything. But with no risk, there's no reward, right? Because your life is accustomed to what you've brought in.
Yeah.
You have to be able to change something. You have to sacrifice and risk something to get yourself out of it. And if you don't, then you have to be okay with the outcome that you've been living with this entire time.
That's a fact.
And if your pride and your ego get in the way of that, you're never going to be able to explore or risk or assess risk properly to figure out if there's a greater reward out there.
That's probably like more of a man thing. We talk about ego.
Yeah.
So in a sense to where you could be like, as a man, you might be too prideful to tell your children, your wife, or your kid's mother that I ain't got it.
Yeah.
Because of that. Because you know that backlash might come, might not. We don't even know if it's going to come.
Correct. You just assume the worst.
Just assume.
Yeah.
Damn, if I don't buy these diapers, I'm going to get cursed out.
Yeah,
Social
absolutely.
media is going to have a field day because I can't afford diapers.
Yeah.
And it might not even come.
Yeah.
But for the creators out there, for the people with ambition, if this is what you want, be okay with going all in, especially financial, especially with time. Of course, there's going to be some bumps in the roads with the family, with money, with rent. You know how many stories I've heard? Like Kanye West just pops in my head. Before he got his deal, I think he had his eviction notice on his door.
Yeah.
Because guess what? I'm going to use the money that I am bringing in. I'm going to put into my beats. I'm going to put into traveling, equipment.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry sleeping in his car, I think.
Yeah.
So I embrace the struggle. You have to embrace the struggle. When you lost what you lost, but you bounced back, I bet that was a beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah. To be honest with you, not to cut you off, to be honest with you, that $700 loss ended up saving me money because the connect that my man's put me on, it didn't require me to go that deep in inventory, and it allowed me to redirect or rewrite my business model.
Okay.
And now our business model is pre-profit, where we're not sitting on inventory waiting to sell. The moment an order comes in will be the moment that we replenish inventory and provide product. And that's within our business model. When I first wrote it, it was to have X amount of inventory on it, so I'll be sitting in the negative.
That's what you thought.
Until I dig myself out into profit.
Yeah.
So I end up making way more money and investing less money over time because of this hiccup.
Okay. All right. Listen, man, if you ain't getting no gems from this, man,
Absolutely.
we encourage all the entrepreneurs to go out there and do your thing if you're serious. If you're going to stop in a few months, don't go all in.
Yeah.
Because then you'll be looked at funny. But if you know for a fact that this is going to work for you, please go out there and do it. But with that being said, man, tell them your brand one more time and tell them why they should cop it.
Yeah, so it's Lucky 7 Loft, and it's www.lucky7loft.com, Instagram Lucky the number 7 Loft, Facebook Lucky 7 Loft. The reason why you should cop it, we're focusing on normal wear.
Okay.
We want you to be able to feel comfortable wearing our product to the laundromat, grocery shopping, hanging around the house. We want to control 60% of the closet space.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with the occasional like high quality, super expensive attire that you will wear out to events, to the club or to a showcase. But we want to be worn more than once a month or once a quarter.
Okay.
We want to be able to be worn multiple times during the week and feel comfortable.
Okay.
That's why we put so much thought into the material that we use, the vinyl that we print, that we press with, and just the condition that we keep our products in. You know, so if you're looking on expanding your closet space and having some normal everyday wear, then Lucky 7 Loft is the place to go.
We might could talk some business, man.
Yeah,
let's collaborate on something. Tell them that promo code though. Like if you want to get you a little free T-shirt.
Yeah. So right now we got a couple things going on. Of course, I just hooked the podcast brothers up with a couple free shirts, but we have a bunch of promos for our consumers. The majority of it is in social media.
Okay.
So we have a promo, it's 2 shirts for $50.
Okay.
And then we have another promo, 4 shirts for $80.
Okay.
These payments are done through Cash App for those individuals that may not want to put their credit card information online.
Yeah.
Because I understand there's a lot of scammers out there, and although our website is secured for all payment methods, I can understand the obstacles that many people face. So 2 shirts for $50, 4 shirts for $80, and it can be any one of our shirts, mix and match. The good thing about our brand that's much different from other brands is we use vinyl to press, right?
Okay.
So vinyl can be in any color.
Okay.
So let's say if you like a design online, whether you see it on the website or on Instagram or Facebook, but the colors aren't just hidden with the sneakers you have at the crib.
Yeah.
Where you can inbox us, send us a picture of your sneakers, and we'll color code the shirt to match your sneakers.
Okay.
So anything that you want. The designs itself is a template. The colors can all be changed.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But pardon me, though. I didn't mean to say little T-shirts. I was just...
No, it's all right.
Yeah, big boys. Like
We do all sizes.
Our T-shirts, well, the Podcast Brothers T-shirt, like when I have on, it comes from Teespring, I believe. And it's kind of like... a platform to where people do order from them, but of course they get a profit from us.
Yeah.
I've been looking into kind of like printing T-shirts out myself, but that just might not be. I might not have time in the day for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a busy dude, so like I said, we might can collaborate.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Put something together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And what I can tell you is, the formula that we have, I think, is very successful.
Yeah.
And in no way, shape, or form am I the kind of person that's going to hold on to that formula and not share it.
Right.
You know, I think we've carved ourselves out our own lane, but we don't mind putting other people on because we know that they're going to create their own lanes, and we can all kind of, eat all at the dinner table together.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. That's exactly the type of time we on. That's why we love having creatives here.
Yeah.
And once you come through, like, we keep in touch. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all growing together.
Right.
And that's basically, you know what I'm saying, the gist of it. Like, we all gonna make it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's great that we all aren't kind of like in each other's lane. But even if we were, we're like the people that I've met, we're all humble.
Correct.
And we want to see each other win.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is what it is. But we about to switch over topics real quick, right? Did you hear about the controversy with Chris Brown and his lyrics?
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently he said he only wants to fuck black bitches or black women with good hair, right?
Yeah.
And that drew a lot of controversy from women. And then he went on social media and started cursing everybody out, made himself look worse.
Yeah, correct.
Very immature.
Yeah.
But then the conversation got brought up with preference.
Yeah.
Preference versus colorism, or preference versus what people, accuse Chris Brown of saying. How did you take it? And when you first heard about it, and did anything on social media change your mind about your initial thought?
Yeah. So I think that colorism and preference are always going to be intertwined.
Okay.
Regardless, no matter the day and age, because we're going to have individuals that are just going to be biased to whatever, and I can understand that. I think it's the person that delivered the message that may have ignited the fire to be as big as it is now.
Okay,
Chris Brown, he's had his series of trouble, especially with women.
Absolutely,
where they've been the judge, the executioner, right, and the jury, and it wasn't favorable for Chris Brown to say a statement like that and speaking of women.
Okay.
Not to say that it would be received any differently if it was someone else that may have not encountered any issues before, but I think that the vessel that the message was delivered in was the issue. His replied statements online, I think they were very typical of what Chris Brown, but it wasn't the way to handle it, of course. With Chris Brown, it's a double-edged sword, man, because to have an individual like Chris Brown who's had a level of success at any given point, willing to risk it all, you know what I'm saying, to like defend himself, I think it's a blessing and a curse, because it's going to get you in trouble. But he's sticking true to what he feels. Maybe he delivered the wrong way, but I can't knock him for defending himself. You know what I'm saying? Because you always get the story of, man, I'm just people don't know the real me type of thing, and that usually happens with guys. Like, I wish you just give me a chance, to get to know me. But I definitely think it was because of his past that allowed the present to really. I would hate to say blow it out of proportion, because I'm not trying to say that, but to get as big as it got.
I know social media can allow so many people to just be able to get in contact with you or get a whiff of what they think, and it's hard not to be able to respond when you see such negativity, right? I got a notification from YouTube today, and it's from an old video me and my brother did, right? And I mispronounced somebody's name wrong. I don't be caring about people's names, man. We talking about The Wire versus Power, and I might have pronounced the name wrong. And somebody wrote under my YouTube page, under my YouTube video, when you pronounce such and such name wrong, your opinion didn't meant nothing. I wrote, thanks for the comment.
Yeah.
Because like we talked about 15 minutes ago, just comment.
Yeah.
YouTube has algorithm too.
Yeah.
So if you comment and I comment back, now you getting my video rolling. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Correct.
I'm not going to take that personal. R&B, even though women are the subject most of the time, even in hip-hop, that's like a lover's lane.
Correct.
Used to be, I guess. I don't know now. I think that R&B is like hip-hop-ish now.
Yeah. Back when Babyface was doing it.
Babyface is that's where I'm torn, because it used to be a lover's lane. It used to be a safe space for women.
Yeah.
Babyface said, when I get home, I'm going to cook you dinner. I'm going to rub your feet. And you ain't got to do nothing but pay with your love, right?
Yeah.
But now it's just like, I don't even fuck bitches. And it's not the typical R&B.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's a preference, but it might be a preference, but a negative one, because I've known guys only want to fuck women with nice hair because they're babies or have good hair.
Correct.
Chris Brown has a daughter who's of light color and has a fair set of hair.
Yeah.
Not saying he did it on purpose, but your daughter has that. So in a sense to where you're fucking a girl and you get her pregnant by accident, or you don't use a condom, she gets pregnant, more than likely the chances of this baby being born with fair hair.
Yeah.
That's how I took it.
Yeah, no,
because he said fuck. He didn't say anything else.
Yeah,
I only want to mess.
Fall in love.
He didn't say nothing. He said that I want to have sex basically with women with good hair, just in case if something happens.
Correct. Yeah,
they look like these type of women.
Yeah.
So I definitely had a problem with that, because that's how I took it.
Yeah.
To me, it's not about preference, because I've seen so many people say, well, there's women who only want a man 6'5" and dark skin with a beard, or you can't be too skinny, you can't. That's preference because the outcome of, you know what I mean, like the children or things of that nature, it don't play a part.
Yeah.
To me, I hear him talking about reproducing. To me.
Yeah.
So it's hard, and well, because, you know, I'm not a woman, but I get their reaction, though. Like, when they hear it, oh, my God, you're talking about me, because there's a lot of women that I know that want to go natural. Yeah. They want to go natural, and they won't. And they won't, and they wear wigs because of what people think. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The climate that we've created.
There's
Absolutely.
so many women that want to go natural right now, but they won't do it because they're afraid to be judged. So I can see how these lyrics from Chris Brown might trigger them to want to keep their wigs on. Yeah. But I definitely think that the Chris Brown situation, and also like you said, you got to know who you are. Yeah. I'm Chris Brown. Yeah. I can't walk this thin line.
Correct.
I'm like, people still talk about me and Rihanna.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for him to actually go there and be shocked at
the response
that came back. And like I said, R&B used to be a safe space for lovers. Yeah. Let's say he did do it, which he did. That's your opportunity to just apologize.
Yeah. Or this is the outcome that he wanted.
But for him to react that way, I don't think that.
I think that to stir up controversy. I mean, album right around the corner.
I think it dropped.
It dropped. You know, but at that time, I mean, you never know. I mean, his whoever's in his camp, on his team.
I think that was all Chris. You see that response?
It was definitely no. The response was definitely him.
Okay.
But I think the controversy around his statement, or maybe trying to shy away from tiptoeing on that line. I think he was at the point in his career where the album's about to come out or it's out. He's trying to become relevant again. He didn't really care.
And you know that a record producer or a company will want you to push that envelope. Yeah. I'm not taking enough for him, but we just going to go with different scenarios that might have happened. He might have been in the studio and somebody said, hey, we don't have no controversy yet on this album. We got nothing that stands out. Right. Y'all better not act like that this does not happen in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Hands down it does.
You got to know that bar, because it described a certain woman to a T. Yeah. He didn't say, he could have just said, I only want women, but he said black women. Yeah. So for him to describe women and know that there's so many natural women out there, there's so many women going into the lanes of, I just want my natural hair to be out. Black is beautiful. Afros, we're going to take this weave out. We're going to take off the wigs. We want to be out. We also want to be loved. Right. So you mean to tell me that my choice of going natural means to tell me that I can't be loved? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he has to understand the message that he put out there, even though that might not have even been his point, which I guess his argument was he was saying. Correct. But that's when you come back and say, it's not what I meant. My words were taken out of content, and go about his life. Correct. Because
he could have deaded it.
Right. Yeah. Because there's going to be women who, number one, don't care, and two, the concerts still sell out. Correct. And I think that those be the issues, especially when it comes to musicians. Well, not musicians and artists. When you still have shows that sell out and you still make money, you don't really care about the bridges you burn. Correct. Until it's that Rihanna situation where you've burnt every bridge. Every bridge. And now you actually need... This man was crying when he sung Man in the Mirror. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah. He did the Michael Jackson tribute, crying, everybody, please forgive me. I made a mistake. Yeah. But then you see people when they make mistakes that's not as tough as the mistake that they made before. Yeah. Then you see who they really are. Yeah. Fuck y'all. Yeah. I don't Absolutely. Care about y'all. Yeah. When you can assess how much loss or no loss there is. So my record sales aren't being affected.
Yep. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not gonna apologize. But slow things up.
Had this situation hurt his sales or hurt his music. Oh.
Yeah, no, if his record label would have put a pause, like, all right, we got to hold this for a little bit, then it would have came out. Yeah. Because the loss would have been, something they had to deal with.
Now, for those of you who don't see what Chris Brown said as an issue, it's cool. It's his opinion. All of this is opinionated because we weren't there when he made the song. But for me, when he says, I only want to fuck bitches with black bitches with good hair, he's insinuating that, hey, just in case if a slip up happens, my baby will be prettier than yours because they are fair skinned and have better hair. Yeah. It's just my opinion. Oh man, the Little Mermaid. Did you see the controversy over that?
Yeah, man.
Okay, right. I was hoping that you did. So apparently, there's a young lady. I thought I wrote her name down. Halle Bailey, I think.
Halle Bailey.
Yeah, people thought it was Halle Berry.
Correct. Yeah, Halle Berry went online and had to clear the rumors up.
I don't think I want Halle Berry to be my Little Mermaid.
Yeah, me either.
I think she passed that prime.
I mean, she might be able to play a part.
A part mother.
Yeah.
Mother
a mother,
mermaid,
yeah. Or a bad aunt or something like that. Yeah.
Or grandma. You know what I mean? Halle Berry's up there. You know, Halle Berry looks like grandma. Like grandma don't look like grandma no more. Grandma looks like a Halle Berry.
Correct.
But there was a lot of controversy because they're basically going in another direction with the Little Mermaid when it comes to Ariel. I don't really know the nationality of Halle Bailey. She looks black, might be mixed with a few things.
Yeah.
But white America was up in arms about Ariel.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A lot of people had a problem with it.
And so I went and did my Googles because at first, I'll be honest with you, I look at everything heads and tails. Like, I understand why you might be upset. Everybody else might be like, oh, y'all racist.
Yeah.
They got a point. What if Shaft came out and the white man played
Shaft. Yeah.
We wouldn't trip?
Correct.
Okay, then. Correct. So let's just be like, okay, we understand why they can be mad sometimes. It's okay for them to have their opinion. Now, the racist post that I saw where they had one Ariel eating watermelon, and it's like, y'all going too far.
That's when you're pushing it too far.
You're pushing it too far. But as far as some people having an issue that Ariel is no longer white, that's okay. But then when you do your Googles, right, I had to write this down. It says an average of 75.2% of speaking roles go to white actors, according to the 2014 University of Southern California study. So that means, regardless of who the character is, somebody of fair skin is going to get that role.
Correct.
And then I started to do my Google some more. And, this had me dying, fam. The first one I saw, right, and I didn't know this because I didn't see the movie and I didn't pay it no mind. But did you know that Ben Affleck played Antonio Mendez?
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't find a Latino man to play this guy?
Correct.
But what you did was, hey, Ben, grow your beard.
Yeah.
Dye your hair. We're going to put a little makeup on you.
Correct.
And you're Mr. Menendez.
Correct.
But nobody says that quick. Have you seen any incidents to where you like, yo, fam, this isn't that, but okay, we're going to rock with it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely...
I got more.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them, and especially movies that we've praised, recommended.
Fam, Johnny Depp played Tonto.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp was Tonto. I can't pronounce this guy's last name. Joseph Fiennes. I don't know his name. Fiennes. I can't pronounce his name. Sorry. But Joseph, who's a white man, played Michael Jackson. Now, that's a little controversial.
Yeah.
Depends on
the time.
The time.
Yeah.
Because nobody really knows what Michael Jackson was going through.
Correct.
Don't know if he ever wanted to be a white man. Was it the skin disease that he possessed? Don't know. I mean, you can look at the nose change, the hair, the lips. Yeah. Still up for debate. This one right here got people up in arms for real. But Elizabeth Taylor played Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Now Cleopatra had African roots, and they still put Elizabeth Taylor on there. Russell Crowe, he played Noah. And Noah's from the Middle East. Yeah. But I can go on and on about white people getting these roles. And the second an African descent gets a role of a Disney character or any character, they're up in arms.
Yeah.
I was doing this. I saw this one post on social media where they said that every princess in the Disney universe was white for 70-something years.
Yeah.
So it took them 70+ years for them to even acknowledge a princess of color. So every time people of color took their children to see a Disney movie, it was white people who were of royalty.
Yep.
So I kind of get why Disney will go this direction. And I still think that they still have their plethora of princesses and princes. I mean, I can't count all the Disney movies, but I'm cool with them moving in this direction.
Yeah, me too.
I'm cool with them moving in this direction just because it's like the study that I said, 75% of roles go to white people, period, regardless of the role that they're playing. Just put a little makeup on them and it's a wrap.
Yeah.
But that's not saying that I'm going to go see The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
My thing.
Yeah.
I might take my daughter to go see it, though,
Yeah.
because it gives them opportunity to see themselves in a different light.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that Disney got it right.
Okay.
With the casting. And the reason why is because I'm a firm believer in the cultural climate.
Okay.
And I think right now we're seeing a pivotal shift in things attempted to be done in the right way, which means providing a fair shake at opportunity regardless of skin color.
Okay.
I think that what's crazy in what you said was, all of the princesses for 70 years were not of color, right? But how many families of color, right, have taken their children to go see those movies?
Absolutely.
And the fairy tale that creates in the mind, almost, since it's not relatable because they're not of the same color, it's so far-fetched, it's like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
So do those individuals grow up, right, in their younger adulthood, not being able to think that something like that is even attainable? Not to say that anyone can become a mermaid.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
Right.
But envisioning one being an actor or actress of color in a role so big on Disney becomes attainable.
Yeah.
It no longer is a fairy tale. Like, I wish that they would. No, it's now happening.
Yeah.
And I think that stimulates the mind differently for young children to see what they can reach now and actually touch. And I think that's a good thing.
You're absolutely correct. And this can go back to the Chris Brown situation.
Yeah.
If you've never seen a certain individual on television or be celebrated, unless you do your own homework, your own Googles, and see just how beautiful black people are in their natural state, it's hard to fantasize about that because we're talking fantasy.
Correct. Yeah.
You're going to fantasize what you see. So this man, I'm not giving him a pass or an excuse, but I'm saying if you only see lighter women with certain hair, with certain figures, that's who you fantasize with.
Yeah.
So now I'm this big star, and the only women that I want are the best of the best.
Correct.
So in your mind, the best of the best is what you've been presented to.
Correct.
When I saw the Black Panther last year, I think it came out last year or 2 years ago. That's what it represented for me.
Yeah.
I actually got a chance to watch a movie that was like 90%, if not 95%, people of color.
Yeah.
Positive.
Yeah.
Because there are black movies out there, but there has a negative twist to it.
Right.
A drug dealer wanting to be something, some murders. But this guy, right, I don't think they cursed in the movie. And the positive message that I got from that was so powerful for me.
Yeah.
Because for the first time, I was able to watch a movie that represented me in a high form.
Correct.
King, queen, like being a black man, loving a black woman, respecting your culture, your family, helping others. If we saw that more often.
Yeah, that's what we would.
Right.
Yeah.
So to hammer your point home with the Little Mermaid situation, yes. If you saw that you too can be a princess, you too can be a king.
Right.
You're not just street thugs.
Right.
It's more things out there than just rap songs telling you that I had a hard life. There's more things out there than the slavery movies.
Yeah.
Telling you that you was a slave, but not mentioning that where you come from first. So, yeah, I think that the Ariel movie and creating more opportunities for people of color to be in these Disney movies, to be in these movies, period, to represent us in a positive light instead of the typical form that we've been presented into. So,
I agree 100%.
So shout out to the Little Mermaid. Shout out to Disney for doing that. One more thing, though, right? The cucumber challenge.
Yeah, man.
The women, the people licking the ice cream. Clout chasers.
Yeah.
It's something that snuck up on us with the social media thing. And you can look and be like, man, clout chasing, you it's how y'all sell music. That's how y'all get known. It's how y'all get your product out there. And it is what it is. But I think with situations like this, we've come to the conclusion that clout chasing has gone a little bit too far. As far as, well, first off, before I get into this, these two topics, has clout chasing gone too far before these two situations? Where there was a situation like, yo, y'all doing too much.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the biggest one recently was Tekashi.
The rapper.
Yeah, the rapper. Yeah. You know, I think he's the one that kind of broke through the ceiling of clout chasing and the negative impact it can have. The deadly impact it can have.
Okay, yeah.
So I definitely think that we've achieved a maximum level of clout chasing at one point with one individual. I'm split on this, and the reason why is because I look at everything with a fair judgment.
Right.
We spoke about algorithm.
Yeah.
Clout chasing is a form of utilizing the algorithm to get them to where they can get. Yeah. Now, this is everything is a double-edged sword.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Now, there's short-term success and long-term success. Mm-hmm. I think clout chasing is a method of short-term success, right. And we all know that in some cases that's not the best path for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening now more often, where people are going for those kind of short highs of attention, and they're kind of stretching the limits of what it was in comparison to what they're going to do.
Right.
And I think that's what we're seeing now is that we're seeing very small spurts back to back of people going across that line for a short amount of success or quick buck. Yeah. Because I don't think we've seen so many controversial social media scenarios back to back like this. Usually they're held for a long stretch of time.
That's a fact.
But now they're like coming out in spurts, man. Like so many different people doing so many different things. So I think that I play the fence on it. If you know how to utilize it right and know when to back off, it's fine. But there's a lot of individuals that cross that line and don't know when to stop.
Well, my thing is, if you can make something out of it, cool, right? Like even with the Tekashi situation, he became a successful artist financially, I guess if you want to call it, but he ended up paying for it.
Correct.
So
catching up to him.
It's catching up to him. Why? Because people who clout chase have to match their talent.
Yeah.
And normally the talent falls short over time, so you have to keep clout chasing.
Right.
Because like we talked about with the algorithm, you want people to click on what you got going on, which is why you might see some beef on IG Live.
Yeah.
My thing is, though, I don't see where the cucumber suckers are going.
Yeah, I don't know where the end result is.
Right. It started as a challenge, and I'm all for challenges. And just like you say, it goes positive. They might slip a negative in there. Positive. And we have so many positive challenges here for it. And then this cucumber thing kind of just blew up.
Yeah.
And just like you said, just like I said, I don't see where it's going with that. But then it's just like, everybody wants that 5 seconds. It used to be 5 minutes. Everybody wants that 5 seconds of fame.
Yeah.
And people aren't thinking about the repercussions of somebody seeing you with that cucumber.
This is true.
When I was young, right, I wanted to be a porn star.
Okay. All right.
But my thing is, I didn't want nobody seeing me.
Yeah.
I didn't want nobody from the town knowing that I was doing my thing.
Yeah. It would be like the masked hero.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't an option at the time. I wasn't thinking. Had I would have thought about it, I would have been going with a mask.
Yeah,
I would have been dope, though, because it would have been different. Like, all porn are the same, but nah, I'm the dude with the mask. Yeah. I didn't want people to see me. These people don't care.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just like, okay, y'all doing too much. And even this might be a turnoff for guys.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, listen, if you could do all of that, I don't need you. I don't want you.
Yeah.
But on another note, right, the young lady with the ice cream, which is crazy. It's crazy, fam, because you could actually be purchasing this ice cream. Somebody done licked all over it.
Yeah.
But it
makes you second guess all your purchases now.
Right. Especially if it's, your ice cream got to come with a plastic wrap on. Like, you got to break open a seal. You got to break open the ice cream.
I want a key with my ice cream.
Yeah. So it was said that the young lady might be facing 20 years in jail. But then it was said that she's a minor.
She's a minor, yep.
And they don't know how they want to go forward with this. And I guess being a minor makes it make more sense because that's just what these kids do.
Yeah.
They want to push the envelope, but
Maturity.
But you go, well, what's next? If you
Correct.
guys are doing this,
Correct.
what's next? I seen a video online. I think it happened in Philly, where a kid got out of a car, but left firecrackers in the car, and the car just start popping. It's people behind. I don't know if anybody was in that car.
Yeah.
But it basically stopped traffic, and he's just sitting there recording the car popping, right? And he's
Crazy.
also recording
The reaction.
the
of others.
reaction. Everybody's mad. And he just like, fuck you. It's just like, no, they don't care.
No care. It's like they're immune to it.
They're immune.
Yeah.
It's actually the reaction that they want.
Yeah.
Like, you
No, I agree.
can't tell me what to do. I saw this other one video, right? And this was a prank, but it still made people really mad. This man and this woman was in the middle of the street having lunch.
Was the picnic one? Where they were on the floor with the blanket? Yeah. And they was feeding each other like hamburgers or something like that?
Oh,
Yeah.
you saw that?
And they stopped everything.
They was really hot.
Yeah.
And it could be a prank. What if somebody hopped out their car and whopped my man in the back of his head while he's sitting down?
Or kept driving. Road rage is dangerous.
How hot was it outside?
Yeah.
How humid?
Correct.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
It's hot outside. That's a good enough reason
Yeah.
for somebody to go down. But that's where we at for people for their 5 seconds of fame.
Correct.
I truly respect the creatives who take the time out on their own. Have you seen a Spice Adams video? My man with his shorts up high. He's a big guy, but he basically makes his own videos.
Oh, yeah. I seen it. Yep.
Yeah, he makes fun of himself.
Correct.
In his own time.
Correct.
He's the only one in his video.
Correct. In his own realm.
In his own realm. And he's popping on social media.
Correct.
There's some of you out there who want to be popping on social media and you don't know how to do it, so you put everybody else into that scenario and we didn't ask to be.
Correct.
If you in the middle of the street feeding each other lunch, stopping traffic, and you're clout chasing, or you're recording yourself with the cucumbers, or you're doing something stupid like licking ice cream, I'm just trying to encourage people to find a different way of making yourself popular.
I agree.
Now, I don't know if you wouldn't clout chase because you're talented. I don't know if that plays a part, though.
Yeah.
You would think that somebody would clout chase because I can back it up.
Correct.
But you don't really see the talented creators clout chase. We would rather let what we do speak for ourselves.
Yeah, let it speak volumes. So those that clout chase, right? I think that's a different kind of individual that doesn't have the same kind of filter that those individuals that do clout chase have.
Okay.
And I think what the issue is they don't have anyone that's telling them that they have very unique characteristics in them, right? Just the ability or the inability to filter how people are going to feel towards them based on what they do. I think that's extremely unique. I think that's a characteristic that can lead to success. Like, I wouldn't lay in the middle of the street while traffic is around and just act like they're not there. That wouldn't be me.
Right.
That characteristic is unique. Now, if you can take that variable and put it to something else that can be profitable, that's right, just imagine how much further they can go.
I'm trying to think of who clout chase but actually has talent. I think that's why they clout chase.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have nothing to stand on.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm going to stand in the middle of the street and stop traffic, but my message or what I'm trying to do, like, imagine if you was in the middle of the street just with your T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't sell. They'd be more mad at you.
Correct.
Like, you know what? I hope your shit never sell.
Correct.
I'm never buying none of your product because you just pissed me
You
off.
delaying me from getting to dinner. Or
work.
get home or work.
Or get out this hot ass weather.
Yeah, you crazy?
Yeah. So for the clout chasers out there, y'all probably don't listen to this podcast, but I hope y'all get this message. I mean, at least have a talent to back it up. This young lady, she's a young minor. I don't know what they're going to do with her. The one that just happens to just randomly lick the ice cream and put it back in the freezer. Yo, I saw this one dude, right? He actually takes a handful of ice cream, eats the ice cream, and put it back in.
No.
Yeah. I seen one dude, so it's just like, okay, this young girl started something. Everybody else wants to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing they forget, the collateral damage that it has. People don't have. There's a lot of people out there that don't understand the collateral damage that your actions have. The after effect, that aftershock.
This might be for a whole nother podcast, but I want to know, where did we go wrong at? As, you know what I mean, like the kids. Because I remember growing up, being in a situation where you said that your mother was a single mother. So a lot of that single mother, a lot of that single parenthood, and you have people like you, people like me, that want better for the family because they know what we went through. But then you have kids that came after us that's in this generation, and they're, not all of them, but some of them aren't thinking about how to carry on or continue on a legacy. Just how can I just make people laugh, or how can I get attention? For some reason, these kids want attention. Yeah, that's what it is.
I think that it's the ability to get a response based on an action instantly, and over time that folds. It's like a 2-time fold with every generation, where it becomes quicker and easier to get a response out of somebody. I think that has a lot to play with it. I think that's one of the reasons that I raise my children the way I do. Yeah. And this is just me. Everyone else has their way of parenting, but for myself, I try to cascade information down at the appropriate time. Okay. So that my children's minds can digest it properly and make sense of it. Yeah. Identify right and wrong themselves. So I may limit what they are exposed to. I know we had an incident with YouTube maybe like 8 months ago where they were watching a YouTube video. It was one of their shows. Another video came within, they clicked it, and it was something that they weren't supposed to see. And I took them off YouTube to this day. Okay. Now they have YouTube Kids and they have other ways of doing what they're doing, but they couldn't digest what they were seeing. So since they couldn't digest it, I had to get it away from their vision. Right. You know, so I think it all comes down to how fast information is shared. Mm-hmm. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. But I think that there needs to be individuals around them that are going to tell them the right thing. And I forgot who posted it, but it was like, it's great to be a father to your child, but you also have to be a father to the friends of your child, because you never know who's fathering them.
That's a fact.
You know, and I think outside of a father, just as a role model or individual of care to that person, you also got to care for the people that are around them, because they just may be easily influenced. Yeah. You know, so you got to be able to reach an entire crowd rather than just your child.
It takes a village.
Yeah.
It's crazy because there's some people out here, and I could be one of them from time to time, where you don't want your kid to play with the kid next door because they seem like a bad influence.
Yeah,
or
you're not the only one.
Or you can tell how aggressive those kids are. Yeah. Now you raise your kids, right, to be upstanding citizens. Go outside and play. You need some air because you have a happy home, things of that nature. But you don't know that those other kids are outside because they have no choice. Correct. Their parents are druggies, or they just don't want to see their faces. Go outside and don't come back in until the street lights come on. Correct. So these kids are forced to be outside. So it's just so many different energies that come together, and you hope that your kid knows right from wrong, which they do. But when you get out there,
it's all up to them.
There's a leader of a pack. Yeah, there's always this one influential kid.
Yeah, that's ready to go. Yeah, like 0 to 100, like quick.
Oh, what you got to ask mommy and daddy? Let's go run. Let's go play. And
start playing on your ego. Yeah. Like, oh, you really gonna go ask them? Yeah, I thought you were 8. Yeah, but yeah, I think
and they curse already.
Yeah.
So
listen, my children, and I love my kids to death, man. But like, my son is 8, my daughter's 6. And when kissing scenes come on TV, they still turn away and close their eyes. Yeah. When we act, like my wife and I, we may curse, occasionally. Yeah. And they'll check us. Yeah. They'll be like, Mom, Dad, so I think it starts with the children that you raise, and then you hope that you instill characteristics and an ethical way of living that they can influence, or they can be that leader outside and say, yo, bro, like, let's not do that. Yeah. Let's come over here. So I think everyone needs that circle around them, just to listen to you and to speak to you when you most need it. I think it's very important.
And at the same time, if your child does not have the personality to actually go out there and hang with because you can look at a kid, you and your kid, your kid and another kid can be the same age, but the other kid's personality is like 3 times
much more mature.
Yeah, much more mature. And you just got to be like, listen, I don't think that this is a good fit for you because you're like Nickelodeon young. They're watching Power. They're watching HBO at 8. They know all that stuff. So it's okay to not want your kids to play with certain kids if the mature level is on a different level, just because you don't want your kid to be taken advantage of in any situations. Because even though, like you said, you have to be a father, a parent to your child and the next, one thing we don't want is for our kids to go out there and be taken advantage of and get teased or it's picked on because he's or she is not up to speed that the other kids are at. So
now, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was just watching a video of his name is Dr. Jordan B. Peterson.
Okay.
He's a psychologist, a scientist, and he focuses on like human behavior. And one of the things he speaks on is male and female bullying.
Yeah.
And with males or boys, if we're talking about children, they bully based on aggression.
Okay.
So you see those children beat up at school or teased or physically. They show physical attributes of being bullied, right? Because of the male ego or pride or the DNA. With women or young girls, they get bullied through reputation destruction, rumors, gossip. And it usually comes from children that may be of the same age, but like you said, 3 levels higher than them in maturity, where they take advantage of those. And one thing I want to say, and this is to all the parents, is just because, like you said, just because they're the same age doesn't mean you should like not filter. Because there definitely needs to be a connection between both age and maturity level because it's crazy out there, man.
Absolutely. I've seen it. I've seen kids who speak the language that a grown person would speak. And I'm not saying curse, but it's just like, man, you're young, but you're very mature. You know a lot for your age. Like, you even watch cartoons.
Tone is different. Demeanor is different.
You like girls, like fam, you only like 6. Like, what do you know about getting a girl? Like this is not the age for that. Like, just go play. Like we're supposed to be like, whatever, man. It's too much, man. But just know what you're out there looking at, man. And like we said, these kids might be the same age, but their maturity level is so different, and you just got to watch out for stuff like that. And also at the same time, it takes a village.
Absolutely.
If you can reach one, teach one.
Correct.
So, but we definitely about to bring this episode to an end. How was your time on the podcast, brothers? I know my brother wasn't here, and it was just like improvising on the spot. You know what I'm saying? But how was it though?
It was good, man. I'm glad to be on. You know, one thing for me is I want to be able to help others in any which way, shape, or form. You know, we have our brand Lucky 7 Loft, but that isn't the end goal. This is the vessel to get to that end goal. For me, the end goal is to have a creative consultation company where I can assist individuals like myself and you, but earlier versions of ourselves. To get them to the point of establishing something for themselves, whether that's in real estate, whether that's in clothing, being able to teach them how to out and helping them through that process. Because as growing up, and of course with time this will change, but growing up, we were the minority. And whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, we were limited on the opportunities that were presented to us and the resources available to get to the point we needed to get to. And I think it's our job to, when we achieve a level of success, to reach back and grab someone's hand and bring them along with us, regardless of race, color, sex, or age. I think it's just our civil duty to do that, and that's something that we want to do. Of course, at this moment, we're still learning our process. But once we identify our right and wrongs and the paths that we take and the ones we shouldn't take, our job is to reach back and grab the next person that wants to do the same exact thing that we're doing or different and help them through that process. Absolutely,
man. So tell them one more time where they can find their brand at.
So it's www.lucky7loft.com for all online shopping, browsing the catalog or whatever it may be. Instagram, Lucky7Loft. Facebook, Lucky7Loft. And listen, if you guys don't want to shop online, you can shop via social media, Instagram or Facebook. If you have me on Snap or my number, you can shoot me a text. We place orders any which way, shape, or form.
Any shout outs?
Well, shout out to definitely the podcast brothers.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to my man, DJ Big J.
Shout out to Jay.
Who definitely connected the dots. Shout out to my wife, because without her, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. So much love to her. Of course, my family in general, my children, and to anyone that's listening to the podcast that I know personally that's taking their time out to listen to this episode.
Yeah.
I appreciate you and the support that you've always given, whether that's up close or from afar. Shout out to everyone that's willing to doing something to better themselves too.
And if you like what you heard, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate it. Or not. Just tell me you love me when you see me.
Correct. But that algorithm.
But that review on Apple Podcasts means a lot. They watching. They're not going to know if you tell me personally, but I appreciate it either way. This was episode 144, I think. I still don't know what episode this is. This was episode 144 of the Podcast Brothers. Peace out.